and he's solid at around 10-1. Off they go here in the second, and looking for the early pace. It's going to come from Mr. Mark, and Dark Secret's being surged forward as well. Cruise Control from the inside draw, punching forward. Enjoy the Game and The Only Kid are going to settle in prominent positions, followed by It Can Only Be You, who's caught a touch wide as they work out of the stretch. Then Ever Spring on the fence from Miz and Grey, Telecom Supremo, Humongous and Bamboo Dancer settle down last of all. Well, Dark Secret has rolled to the front, and as they head towards the 1500 metre point, it's Dark Secret out by a length and a half. Mr. Mark in second, Cruise Control third, and now Moreira gets off the fence, putting Enjoy the Game out 3 wide. Ever Spring a length behind them, followed by The Only Kid in the middle, and It Can Only Be Used out 3 wide, probably even 4 deep now, as Enjoy the Game quickly takes off and goes up to tackle this leader. Worse than midfield was Humongous from Telecom Supremo, Miz and Grey, and 2 back to Bamboo Dance last of all. Well, the leader, as they run past the 800, still Dark Secret, but he had to up the tempo as Enjoy the Game quickly whizzed around them and now sat in second spot. Mr. Mark and Cruise Control get nice runs. Telecom Supremo moving up. And then 2 lengths further back then to The Only Kid from Ever Spring. It Can Only Be You. He's under hard pressure now, passed by Miz and Grey. Then Humongous and Bamboo Dancers back last. Dark Secret on the corner, given full bore. Enjoy the Game, Telecom Supremo, Mr. Mark. Now Cruise Control sweeping down the middle, but it's Dark Secret in front. Cruise Control quickly went up and grabbed him. Telecom Supremo, Miz and Grey, Enjoy the Game whacking away from Mr. Mark, but Cruise Control sped away with 100 to go from Dark Secret, and then Enjoy the Game and Mr. Mark, and Cruise Control does it nicely to score by 2 lengths over Dark Secret. Third was Enjoy the Game, Mr. Mark fourth, then a gap to Humongous from Telecom Supremo, Miz and Grey, a long way away Ever Spring from Bamboo Dance, The Only Kid, and It Had to Be You, or It Can Only Be You. He's finished last, but Cruise Control far too good for these tonight. Dark Secret ridden forward by Christian Reith, and he got a little bit of mid-race pressure, but he's whacked away in the stretch to fend off all the other challengers, with Enjoy the Game grinding out third with Mr. Mark. So 2, 8, 9
into a firm favourite, and I think Joe Moreira from a good gate. He got off the rail after about 300 metres, and
well, they were crawling, weren't they, in front? So he did the right thing there. Yeah. Otherwise, he would have been snookered on the fence.
Yeah, he got going at the right time. The Only Kid was disappointing. He trailed him, and as soon as Zach Burton pushed the button, there was just nothing there.
No.
But, the Cruise
Might
Control,
be feeling his age now.
Could be.
But yes, he looked the winner on paper, didn't he? And it was all too easy for Cruise Control.
Yeah, we had a clean sweep with the numbers. We all had him on top from Racing to Win. You from the paddock, Jenny, and the way you'd like to see the short price favourites win. Never looked in danger in the straight.
No, Mr. Mark, well, he was in the right spot because they just crawled, so he was able to hang in there for fourth. I was a bit concerned about him getting the distance, but he didn't do a bad job, but I think tempo related there.
Enjoy the Game's run a bit better tonight. They used him up early, and Neil Cullen did well to get him up on the speed and keep him in striking distance in that slow run race.
Yeah, he put a bit of pressure on Dark Secret, didn't he? So they've both been able to run in the placings as it stands anyway.
Well, Brett Davis, his best bet home. He's got the Quinella there with Dark Secret. It's all happy days upstairs.
Yeah.
Quinella paying 195.
Right, yeah, good cue.
Have the first 4 dividend through soon.
And Casper has the yard picking up where they left off from last season.
Yeah, we're only early stages of the 4th meeting, and already he's got 5 winners on the board now.
Well, he might be out to get a bit of a lead and let them chase him this year.
Yeah. Could well be, but the benefit of a better barrier was a huge difference for Cruise Control, as we heard from Casper in the interview. Hasn't had the best of luck with the gates last season, and just the fact that he could land there. And I think the 1800, the slightly longer straight going to that turn as well, because it was a 1650. He's not that quick out of the stalls, but it gave him a chance to sit in a good position in this race.
Well, that is Joe's first ride for Casper this season. Doubt it'll be his last.
Yeah, 1 for 1. And I think Joe's eighth winner of the term. And now we'll be even shorter, I'd imagine, in the Jockey Challenge as well. I just don't know if there was really much to take from the race moving forward.
Well, It Can Only Be You went awful.
How was he only 10 to 1?
Bamboo Dance struggled as well. And Everspring, very ordinary.
Maybe Mr. Mark back in trip on the turf might be one to consider. All right, Cruise Control drew barrier 1. And he jumped on terms, but wasn't super fast out. And the only kid jumped as well as him, going back humongous in the early stages. No speed from Bamboo Dance. And Missing Grey, uncustomary for him, he actually was a bit slow to muster by his standards. And Mr. Mark was forward with Dark Secret actually going forward to make the running. And Cruise Control just here pops off into a one-off spot, and the only kid just tracks him into the race. That left Enjoy the Game 3 wide, no cover. And Neil Cullen then has to work forward. Further back, even wider on the course, in the yellow colours, number 11, It Can Only Be You. So he needed all the help he could get, and he certainly wasn't getting it through the first half. But the pace had slackened here, so many of them were bunching in behind, including Telecom Supremo and then Missing Grey Humongous at the tail, Bamboo Dance. So the pace is really quite sedate. And now Neil Cullen happy to roll along on Enjoy the Game. He doesn't want to be left out on a limb. And Mr. Mark is just half carting in behind Dark Secret. Cruise Control now will just get in the one out, one back, and he too is almost just keeping that option to get out. And he's actually staying 3 wide now as Telecom Supremo comes forward, but doesn't commit to going just yet. It Can Only Be You still 3 deep, Bamboo Dance 3 deep, 5 lengths first to last at most. The pace does pick up from here, and Dark Secret allowed some more rain, nicely rated by Christian Reith, but starting to pick up the tempo. Now Joe Moreira picks up Cruise Control to pull off the heels of Enjoy the Game. He's gone. Mr. Mark looking for an out on the inside, and Telecom Supremo's battle on okay, but Cruise Control, well, he's out after Dark Secret. I think he got to the lead at about this point. It wasn't far after, if it was the case. And he just started to stretch away from them. Mr. Mark just pulling off heels. He keeps on okay. The only kid showed nothing. Bamboo Dance weakened. It Can Only Be You, horrible effort. And Everspring did nothing. So I just think it's a very poor race going forward. Favourite backers be pretty happy with Cruise Control. And Brett Davis followers will be pretty happy too with the favourite getting home there.
So the strike rate with Joe and Casper is not too bad. That's their 3rd winner now from the last 6 times they've teamed up. First fours paid 1,542.